Welcome back, everybody. We're catching back up. We'll have Egan versus Rosemount here. Rosemount just had a game against Apple Valley, and Egan just played Eastview. So we'll see how Egan rebounds after their first game, which wasn't pretty against Eastview. We'll see if they can do better here against Rosemount. There were some positives, though, from Egan. Piper Larson looks very confident as the quarterback. And here is Rosemount. Will take the drop. We'll get a few yards on that play. The catch was made by Taylor Krieg, number 9. The quarterback for Rosemount is Talia Vesco. She made a good quick throw there. Vesio, she'll fake it. She'll launch it deep. Oh, that was number 2. And she's going to go all the way. I thought her flag got grabbed. Oh, never mind, it did.
Yeah, I was about to say,
flag did get grabbed.
Kyle got that one there.
Yeah, okay, so there'll be about 9 out from the end zone.
A really good start by Egan, or by Rosemount here.
Yeah, that was Delaney Mackin on the catch. Yeah, just a great catch right there. Nice throw by the quarterback. She just threw it up there and let the receiver do the work, and worked out well there. They do kind of a weird handoff here. Get a couple yards out of it. That was Krieg once again. Maybe she's the focal point of their offense. She's already gotten the ball twice out of 3 times. They've got about 5 yards here.
Going little bunch formation, almost like an O-line here. Let's see what they do.
Vesio on the drop. No blitz from Egan. Overthrows. She was looking for Mackin there after that big play. She just can't hit her there. A little bit of an overthrow. So it's going to be 3rd down here.
This would be a really big stop for Egan after, letting a big play go. I always say the mentality, bend, don't break, and right now Egan's bending, but let's see if they break.
Here's Mackin. And she's going to get into the end zone. I thought Melskog got one of her flags, but I think she just evaded that. So Rosemount is going to score first here. They're up 6.
That was a good play by Mackin to avoid Melskog.
Yeah.
Come from a little drag route from the slot position there.
Yeah. And they are going to complete the 1-point conversion. So Rosemount will go up 7-0 early in this one.
That was Ella Olson with the catch there. That was a great catch here. Let's see on the replay.
Yeah.
Tight window. You have the sideline to the right, but you have the defender to the left. You got to fit that right in there.
Yeah.
And she made it. She made the play.
She went down for it and then bobbled it a little bit, but came up with it.
So Egan's offense. How can they respond in this second game here?
Quick blitz there right away, but Larson will find. She finds Herzog there. She had a couple big plays in the first game. So way to just get the ball out quickly there. There's a fast blitz right away.
Herzog is the center. And when you see that blitz as the center, it's really important to get out in that little flat route for the dump off there. She did a great job doing that.
Turn around right away pretty much.
Yep. Catch it and then run upfield. Get as much yards as you can.
Second down now for Egan. Larson gets blitzed once again. She's just going to throw that one at the ground. It's a fast blitz right there. It's number 1, Ava Casper.
Yep.
She's been the blitzer so far, and she's put a lot of pressure on Larson. We didn't really see that a whole lot in the Eastview game, so we'll see how they adjust to this. Egan players are reading their play cards. See what they do here on 3rd down. Larson takes the snap. All the receivers are out right. Blitz once again, and Larson's going to take off and run for it. She'll get a few yards there. She's going to get, it's not going to be a first down. So it'll be 4th down here with about a yard to go.
I believe 6 yards. I believe the 25 is the first down.
Oh.
So 6 more yards to go here.
So we'll see. They had a lot of 10-ish yard gains in the first game, so we'll see if they can get one of those here. Here's Larson. Oh. Jensen just can't hang on to that one. Throw might have been a little bit low. But it's going to be a turnover on downs for Egan either way. Yeah, maybe just
A little hot.
a little hot, a little low.
Yep. You know, if you're going to throw a ball that hard to these girls, you really got to hit them in the chest.
Yeah.
That was a little low, tough on the wide receiver, but let's see what Rosemount can do. Capitalize on some short field.
Ooh. A little nice jukes there.
Yeah.
That's Krieg once again. She's getting the ball a lot here early.
It was a very shifty little sidestep there. Kind of reminded me of Madden a little bit there.
Yep. Iceman.
Let's see if Egan can make a stop here.
And there's a deep throw by Vesio. Nice catch there, Mackin. She's going to score her second touchdown already. That was a nice throw there from Vesio. Just hit Mackin right where she was about to be. And way to go up and get that one.
Good spiral on that ball. Made it easy for Mackin to catch that one.
Yeah, so 2 quick touchdowns for Rosemount. We saw this last game too with Eastview. And good defense there.
That's a good
Melskog, she kind of threw off Krieg a little bit.
That's a good break by Melskog there. She saw the flat route, jumped it, got a little deflection. Great play by Melskog.
So Egan's going to head back out on offense. They're hoping to get something going here. For their first drive was turnover on downs.
See Piper drops back here. A little dump off to 11.
That's Becker on the catch there.
And if you want to know more about the Egan girls football team, they have an Instagram. Go check out the Instagram, follow the Instagram. There's QR codes around the stadium. Next time you come, and they'll provide updates for next games, where they are, players, all that fun type of stuff. Just follow the Instagram, Egan girls football.
Yep. And in the bio for that, there's a link to purchase any flag football gear if you might want that.
Yep.
You can find that on the Instagram page on the link. And there's Bumpers. She got about a 4 or 5 yard gain there.
Another 3rd and long for the Egan offense here. Another 11-yard 3rd and 11 here. Let's see if they can capitalize or at least get it close, so they think about going for it on 4th down.
Yeah, they can't afford to give Rosemount good field position again. Just try to work it down as far as they can. Even if they don't score, you wouldn't like Rosemount to just have a easy opportunity. Larson looks long. She thinks about it, and she is going to go long. Oh, just overshoots Becker a little bit there. She hesitated a couple times on the long throw and then eventually decided to do it, but just a little far there.
Yeah, she did a couple pump fakes there, which kind of froze the defenders. They stopped moving their feet when they saw the little pump fake. But unfortunately, so did the Egan wide receivers. They stopped moving because they thought the ball was going to get thrown.
Had her just overshot a little bit. And Rosemount's going to take possession once again. They've scored on their first 2 drives. Mackin has 2 touchdowns already. They've been rolling so far.
I believe Egan forfeited their 4th down there to put them, Rosemount in their own half of the field there.
Ooh, and some shifty moves here. Abby Essler's going to take it all the way. She just got a handoff there and just juked out every Egan defender.
Yeah, that was a really good play.
Wow, that was
there.
Impressive.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 defenders, 5.
Wow.
5 defenders missed on that play. Everybody on the field had a chance.
Yeah.
But she avoided all of them. And that's just a great play, great hustle.
Those are some good moves right there. Another quick touchdown for Rosemount. Here's Vesio looking for the 2-point conversion. She's going to hit Essler. So Essler with 8 points on the drive. And Rosemount is going to go up 21-0. Excuse me, that was just a 1-point conversion, not a 2, so they're going to be up 20-0.
Egan got off to a slow start last game. Let's see if they can pick it up again like they did versus Eastview.
Yeah, I want to pick it up a little bit sooner, though.
She's got Courtney Bumpers deep. Oh, just overshot.
Just right over her hands. She's going deep a lot. Her arm's going to be sore tomorrow.
Yep. One thing about these wide receivers is they turn around a little bit too early.
Yeah.
They got to trust that Piper will lead them in the perfect spots. They got to keep running forward. They like to turn around, which makes the catch harder. When you're running backwards, it's harder to catch the ball, then just
Yep.
running forward.
And when you turn around, that's where you see a lot of those overthrows. They'll just go right over the hands.
Yep. It's almost like a basket, you know. You let it kind of come to you over your shoulder.
Here's Larson. Fakes the handoff. And nice throw to Bumpers over the middle there. She just found a little soft spot in the defense. They were able to capitalize on that. But a 13-yard gain on that one.
You know, in Rosemount, they ran a little soft zone there. Courtney kind of just found the middle and sat down and trusted that Piper would get it to her on time.
Yep. They've got about 5 yards to go here on third. Going to fake the handoff. They're going to give Bumpers an end around. They're really focusing on Bumpers here. She's going to make it all the way down to about the 10.
Once Bumpers gets going, it's kind of hard to stop her. She's got some blazing speed.
She's very speedy.
Almost like a Tyreek Hill-esque type player. For comparisons there. Yeah, that was just a great play. Great call by Coach Carl.
Yeah.
Great running by Bumpers.
Yeah. She's a great athlete.
Yep.
And we're seeing that on display here.
Great soccer player. We got a bunch of athletes in different sports on this team here.
Yeah.
A couple basketball girls, a couple softball, all the sports here.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see, you know, a new community, a new team build in our school.
Yeah, and hopefully this community and this sport can just keep just excelling, because it's been very popular already in its first year this year. So hopefully it can just, you know, keep going up.
I know these girls, they love to play. You
Yeah.
know, this is something they've wanted to do, and it's cool to see that this could finally happen here.
Yeah, there's a bunch of fans here, and Larson's gonna look at Becker in the end zone. She'll just miss her there. So third down here, third down and 10.
Egan's been struggling in the red zone, or I guess not red zone, but closer to the touchdown or the end zone there. They're struggling as, you know, the field kind of compresses a little bit. We might see probably another end around here or another running type situation, as it's probably been the most successful play from Egan.
Yeah, I think it's been harder for them when the defenders are closer together, when they are in the next to the goal line. It's just been more difficult to. Just hasn't been as many open receivers. It's harder for Larson to fit a ball in there, and she almost hit Becker on that one. It's going to be
Fourth down here.
This
is huge for Egan. They need to get some points on the board.
Carl and Larson are discussing the play call here. Might do something tricky. We saw a lot of trick plays in the first game.
I know Carl's got some tricks up his sleeve.
Yep.
We'll see what he does here.
And it seemed like every time they would get tricky in the first game, it'd pay off. Had a couple touchdowns off of it, as well as just some big plays.
Yep.
So we're going to have 2 right and 1 left. Rice is going to move a little bit more towards the left side. Motion from Becker. Larson takes the snap. Oh, a lot of Becker falls. And she's going to go deep corner of the end zone.
A little too far for Courtney there. That was overall. That was some suffocating defense by the Irish there. Piper really had nowhere to go with that ball.
Yeah. All the corners and all the receivers kind of just congregated at the middle at one point. We even saw Becker fall down there. So, yeah, just that's kind of what we were talking about, where it's harder for Egan to get, you know, solid plays and get some yardage when the defenders are way closer together.
Now, I believe this is a must-stop opportunity for Rosemount here. They need it, or for Egan.
Haven't stopped him yet.
Yep.
There's Krieg. She's been a big target today. And nobody can get to her.
She might house it. Oh, great effort by number 24 there.
Caitlin Moon.
Way to die for it. You know, those type of plays, you know, that's how you start, you know, when you make those type of effort plays.
Yeah.
You know, you thought she had the corner. You thought she should have scored there, but great effort.
Yeah. That was still a big gain, though. They were able to get a first down out of that, but, you know, better than a touchdown. Here's Essler. She hauls it in with one arm. She'll get about a 10-yard gain there.
That was a good catch there by Essler. A little behind her. She kind of just grabbed with one arm here, as you see on the replay. Yep.
So Rosemount will be about 5 out here from the end zone. Here's Vesio. Ooh,
A little too hot there.
that was Krieg. Just slips through her hands in the end zone there. I'm very surprised by Krieg's choice to wear a hoodie in this one. It's almost 80 degrees out here right now.
You know, Ray, I think that's the new drip now.
Yeah.
The hoodless, the sleeveless hoods.
Yeah.
I think that's what they do now in these 7-on-7 scenarios. That and some PJs. You know, that's the new wave for these kids nowadays.
Here's Vesio. Quick throw.
Flag down on
That's
the
number
field.
10, Ella Olsen. She gets a couple yards there. We'll see what they call.
Number 10, Ella Olsen. Flag on the
Refs are
field.
going to talk about this call here. I believe they called this on the defense here. We'll see what they call.
They're still discussing what to do here.
Asking the coach.
Looks like the ball's going to move up here. So they'll get the yardage they just got, and then I think halfway to the goal line. So it's just going to be 3rd and 2 here for Rosemount.
Yeah, Egan got to get up tight here and play some press coverage when you're in this type of scenario.
Probably going to make a quick throw, so just have some effort. There's Vesio. Quick throw, and that's going to be a touchdown. It's number 22, Anna Perotka.
Yeah, Rosemount was in like a little tight kind of bunch formation, and they all kind of ran their own separate ways. It's super hard to guard
Yeah.
in a man because you don't know where your person goes. You know, they could be behind somebody else.
Yep.
A little pick play. Great execution by Rosemount.
Yeah. That was their 4th touchdown in 4 drives. So Egan defense just doesn't really know how to handle this right now. Here's the 1-point conversion. Vesio looking for the back of the end zone for Krieg. Cannot hit that one.
That was good coverage by Egan. Everyone wasn't open, and just have to throw an errant pass there. But let's see what this offense can do. I'd say they're the highlight from last game.
Yeah.
They're definitely kind of putting the team on their back, the offense, but a slow start to this game for them.
Yeah. Defense gave up 52 points last game, so they're hoping to not give up that many this time. Rosemount's already at 26, and there Larson finds Becker right over the middle. That's a good piece of yardage right there.
You know, you find Egan doing this. Usually the first down, they get, 5, 10, 15 yards, and then second, 3rd, and 4th just all falls apart here.
Yeah.
So they only have 9 yards to go to get to the first down. Hopefully we can, capitalize and get into their half of the field, the Rosemont's half.
Yep. Here's Larson. Looks like they changed up the personnel a little bit.
And now to number 12.
That's a great play by Stiles there. She read the end around, jumped it, and made a good grab.
That was Jensen there on the sweep. Just couldn't really get anything going there.
Yep. Normally that's more of a bumpers play. Normally they run it to her, but,
Yeah.
we'll see what they do here on 3rd down. Like I said earlier, they've been struggling on 2nd and 3rds down. And
Yep.
I believe that was a negative play there.
And Eva Rice is going to come back onto the
Sub in
field.
here.
She was big in the last game. She made a couple huge catches. So hopefully we can get a couple explosive plays out of her while she's in.
Yep.
Just trying to adjust her gloves and her wristband real quick. Larson will take the snap.
Another double pass by
Trick
Egan.
play. There's her. Oh. So that was Herzog there. She was looking to hit Larson as she rolled out there, but just couldn't do it.
Yeah, Larson was open.
Yeah.
Definitely would have been a first down if they made that connection here, but a big 4th down for Egan. This is kind of a make it or break it 4th down here.
Big 4th down. When you're down 26, you got to get points.
Yep.
And this is a big one here. If they can't convert here, that's not looking great.
And you got to be aggressive. You got to be really aggressive here.
Here's Larson. Rice goes in motion. Rice is going deep. Larson's going to toss it to her. Rice wide open. Touchdown. Nice throw, nice route, nice catch. It all works out. There's Eva Rice for the touchdown. Just wide open on that one. She just burned her defender.
Little pre-snap motion into a wheel route. Built them some speed. Piper with a pump fake. Finds her deep. Great catch, great throw.
That's the explosiveness we see from Eva Rice. She just really brings that energy, and she's able to get some big plays here for Egan.
She's one of the more smaller ones on the field, but she's definitely a deep ball threat.
Yep.
And can go and make a catch.
Yeah, that speed really just helps her get open, and they're going to get the 1-point conversion here. That was Becker.
And that's definitely what Egan needed there. That was a big momentum shift.
Yep.
And now you got to rely on the defense to make just a couple stops for you.
Yeah, big score for Egan. Let's see if that success can translate to the defense, because they have yet to stop Rosemount. Rosemount is 4 for 4 on touchdowns so far.
They're going to start from their own 5-yard line.
Receivers spread out wide. Here's Vesio. Fakes the sweep to Krieg. Good defense here from Egan. Oh, almost intercepted. That was Melskog there. Either way to break it up, though.
Yep.
It'll be second down.
That's what you need if you're Egan. Good play on first down, 0 yards.
Yeah, close to picking that one off, and that would have been big. But either way, if you're able to hold them to 0 yards on first down, that's big. Here's Vesio again. Same formation here for Rosemount. We're going to hit Krieg in the middle. And nice tackle there. That was Macy Kruger. She didn't let her go anywhere after the catch.
And Egan's been struggling with flag grabbing this game.
Yeah.
They've missed a couple of those, but that's a really good job by Kruger there.
Yeah. Even earlier in this game, there was just a lot of times where they just weren't able to grab the flag. I don't know if they were slippery or what, but it just wasn't working out too well. Yeah, so a much better job there. That was Macy Kruger. There was a little timeout called there. I believe that was Rosemount. They just wanted to talk things over a little bit. So they'll come back out. Vesio leading them.
It'll be third down on their own 11.
Here's Vesio. She gives the handoff to Essler. Essler's going to change directions and go all the way to the right. Oh, she's fast. We're able to get the flag. That was McGowan. So nice flag grab, but a great run by Essler there.
That'll be a first down.
Yeah.
Looks like taken down at the 34-yard line.
Timeout Rosemount here. We must be low on the clock. We can't see the clock here. So, it's kind of a guessing game, but we're going to assume we got low clock.
Yeah, it's probably pretty close to half. We've already had 33 total points in this half, so both Egan versus Eastview and Rosemount versus Egan, they've both been high scoring.
A shootout, as they say. But that's what you come here for. You know, you want to watch fun, entertaining games, a bunch of offense, and that's what these girls are providing us today.
Yep.
Which is just amazing.
I think it's good for the sport of girls flag football as well.
Yep.
Making the games entertaining. Here's Vesio. All receivers going deep. And that's going to be Krieg. He's going to catch the ball at around the 45. Is able to work her way up to the 47 and a half.
2.5 yards to go here. Clock's running low. Timeout Egan. Stacy wants to talk this one over. Probably last play of the half.
The Wildcats.
Yeah, we'll see what they do here. They've had good conversion defense, whether it's a 1-point or a 2-point conversion. So just like our goal line defense in general has been pretty impressive in this one. So hopefully that works out here, because a lot of the touchdowns we've given up have been long plays, but it seems like they do a lot better when they only have a few yards to get.
And when you make a team drive down the field with that many plays, they're going to make mistakes. You really want to avoid the one-play touchdowns. You want to make them, if they score using every single down, then that's fine, That's just good offense. But the more plays is the more mistakes that the offense can make.
Here they go. They're bunched up tight here. We saw this last time. And Vesio's just going to miss just a little overthrow there. She was trying to hit Perukta and just couldn't do it. Just throw was just a little bit low.
I believe that's the same play they ran for the last touchdown.
Yeah.
Little flat route by the center.
So it's going to be third down now for Rosemount. Looking to get their 5th touchdown in 5 drives. Vesio, quick throw. That was to Mackin. She already had 2.
It's 4th down here.
And it's 4th down. They're trying to hurry up. Half's about to end. Going no huddle here. Vesio backs up. They just got a yard to go, if that. Oh, and they're going to find Krieg in the back of the end zone. So a nice little hurry-up play there for Rosemount. They very rushed on that one, but it worked out there.
I think if I'm Egan there, I probably would have blitzed. You know, make them throw it fast.
Yep.
They're already panicked.
Yeah. Yeah, she had a little bit too much time on that, and it worked out. Krieg was able to run just a kind of a deep slant there.
Yeah. And somebody eventually is going to get open when you have that much time.
Yeah. So here's the 1-point conversion for Rosemount. Krieg, that's going to be good. Krieg's had a big game. They're feeding her the ball quite a bit.
And that is halftime here.
Yeah, so Rosemount with a commanding lead here at half. We'll give you a few-minute break. We'll give the players a chance to refresh, and we will be back.
Hey, we should volunteer for this.
I wish I had time.
Scrolling all day, time can disappear. Wanna make it count, why not volunteer?
Posting pics of your food, that takes up time. Maybe just eat me, I don't really mind.
Time, you've got time. As your reflection, it's my duty to say.
Time, I've got time.
All my pics are the same.
I am some eggs.
10 hours a week deciding where to go eat.
Well, where do you want to eat? Maybe let's not go out to eat.
You paint your walls from cream to white, then from white to cream, then back to white.
Time, you've got time to binge all of season 9, though it got so bad.
Time, you've got time. We're gonna grow back and be the same brows you had.
Time, you got time.
Listen to my plea as I harmonize.
Time, you've got time.
Zooba-doo-bop, wow.
Just a few hours to keep families from harm. Help us end home fires with Sound the Alarm. Volunteer for a day to install free smoke alarms in your community.
Emma, did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
I'm Sandra, this is Jorge, and we were adopted in 2019. I remember when they first came to us, Michael was already a teenager. The whole cliche of, they're so lucky to have you guys, and it's the other way around. They have changed our family for the better. They chose to love us. They didn't have to. They chose us. Family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
Wait, use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Getting my high school diploma made me feel like I can do anything. Now, I can help the kids in my community achieve their dreams.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
When I look at all these success stories, I cannot help but think it all started by getting my high school diploma.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
How to know if you should reach out to a friend. Your friend might be
worried,
sad,
grumpy, angry,
stressed, weird, rebellious,
anxious,
antisocial,
lonely,
sleeping less,
sleeping more,
eating less,
eating more. Look, there are a lot of things to watch out for, but you know your friend best. So if they're not acting themselves, why not say something? Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
All right, we are back. Second half action for you guys. And Egan makes a nice play right off the bat. That was Herzog, and she's able to get about 10 yards there. We'll see if Egan drew up any plays to get back into this one. They're down 26 right now to Rosemount.
Maybe a couple more trick plays, maybe. We'll
Yeah.
see. You know, it's the last game. It's the last half. of the weekend. So you gotta use everything you have.
Yep. Yeah, they don't want to walk out of here 0-2. So, but they've got a big deficit to work with here. So, and Larson is going to get sacked. That's a nice blitz right there. Yeah, that was Ava Casper. I know she's had a couple big rushes earlier in the game too, and that one she actually gets a sack. Larson just tried to evade that, but she couldn't. And Egan's going to be faced with a 3rd down here early in the second half.
A little talk in the huddle here.
He's been in that huddle for a while. Might be drawing something crazy up.
If you're Rosemount, you gotta stay on your toes here. Stay home.
Rosemount's all playing very far back, so they're expecting something deep, and it is going to be deep. Larson launches one, and complete there. They're trying to hit Kosnick. Just started running a little bit slower towards the end of that route. The throw was just a little bit far. So Egan is going to have another turnover on downs, and Rosemount's going to take back over. Can't afford to have miscues like that on offense when you're down by as much as you are. So you need points on pretty much every drive, and you need lockdown defense if they want to get back into this thing. Here's Vesio taking the snap, and they're going to blitz here, so defense has gotten a bit more aggressive. Vesio is going to be able to take that for about a 10-yard gain.
Yeah, that was a good job by the quarterback there. I'll do it myself, I guess, and pick up some yards.
Yeah. If you're blitzing like that, especially if you're blitzing from the left side, as she kind of did there, you got to have defenders on the right because that's going to be the side that she rolls out to. They're going to do a handoff here to Krieg. She's going to be able to get a few yards after running into one of the defenders. So she gets about 8 there.
Probably 3rd and 5 here. Rosemount got to get to the 25 for the first down. You can see Egan kind of playing on that 25-yard line. The blitz.
Oh, and they're going to find Krieg right over the middle. That's going to be a first down.
Up past the first down mark.
Yeah, she's had a big game today.
She has.
Very hard to grab her flags.
Yeah, a lot of crucial catches when they need just a 5 to 10 yard catch. She's the one that they are consistently going to. And little fake handoff there. She's gonna go end zone. Ooh, almost picked off there, but an incomplete pass.
That was Kruger there with the breakup. She was in great position for that pass.
Yeah.
Just came in a little too hot. Wasn't really ready for it.
Yeah. Vesio just sailed the receiver a little bit, and Kruger was there. Couldn't come down with that one, but either way, it's an incomplete pass, so we'll take it. Got 2 receivers left now. Vesio, quick throw. Right away, that's Perotka.
Pass complete to number 22, Anna Perotka.
Third down. It's going to be 3rd down at about the 10-yard line. They're going to move it back a little bit. It's going to be about the 14-yard line. So Rosemount's got a little bit to go to get a touchdown here. There's Vesio. She's looking left, looking right, looking all over. That's going to be too long. She throws it into the back of the end zone. It'll be incomplete. So 4th down now for Rosemount. They've got 14 yards to go. And if you're Egan here, might as well just put all your defenders
in the end zone
right at the goal line. Yeah. Yeah, because anything short's a turnover on downs. So just might as well stack it up back there. Rosemount is for sure probably going into the end zone. They're going to call a timeout to talk this over.
Timeout called by the Irish.
Yeah, so they might be drawing up something kind of tricky here because they do have a long ways to go. They're just trying to figure something out because they've had a lot of good short gains, but a lot of their longer gains have just came from short passes with a good run after the catch. We've seen a lot of that from Essler or Krieg, so we'll see if that's what they draw up here or if they're just going to look for a long ball into the end zone. Those haven't been working as well, though. Here's Vesio. Oh, and she does just look into the end zone there. It's going to be incomplete. Mackin had it. It would have been her 4th touchdown, but she just couldn't haul that one in. So a lucky break there for Egan as they look to capitalize on Rosemount's inability to get a touchdown there.
14-yard line, first down for the Wildcats.
Egan's going to take the field quickly. Here's Larson. A nice little out route to Bumpers there. She'll get probably 8 yards.
Good play there.
Yeah. Don't need it all yet. Time's not. We're not that close to the end of the game, so we've got time to score. We're down 26 right now. It's a 4-score game. Here's Larson. Oh, little fake there. That was Jensen on the sweep, and she faked it over to Bumpers.
Good play by Styles there.
Yeah, we've done a lot of different, you know, end arounds, reverse end arounds, a lot of that type of stuff. It seems like it's worked. Not a ton of yards there.
24-yard line. Third down.
No, they only have to get 1 yard.
Yeah.
For the first down here.
Yep. So that honestly works out well.
Could see maybe another run type of play.
Closely bunched here. Rice comes around. Larson hits Bumpers for a short pass, but that's all they needed. Only about 4 or 5 yards there, but enough for the first down.
Up to the 29-yard line. It'll be first down.
It's kind of surprising to see Egan make all these like short passes. That's pretty much all we've done this drive, but with the big lead that Rosemount has, you'd think we'd just be looking to take shots into the end zone. And Larson definitely has the arm for that, as we've seen earlier today. And it looks like she wants to hit the end zone, and she's going to toss it down there. That's Bumpers, and what a catch. Just over the shoulder of her defender.
It's a great play. The defender didn't even know the ball was coming.
Yeah.
She did a great job showing her hands late, so the defender didn't know the ball was coming.
Yeah.
Until it was already in her hands.
Yep. Great catch from Bumpers there. Great throw from Larson. And they're going to go for the 1-point conversion here, trying to get up to 14.
You know, if I'm Larson, you know, the play isn't working out, I would just throw it up to Courtney.
Yeah.
If there's nobody open.
Absolutely. She's been the most consistent receiver that we've had so far. So here's Larson. And tries to hit Becker there. Good defense. Just can't complete the pass. So Egan cuts Rosemount's lead to 20. 3-score game now.
Need another stop here.
Yeah. So Rosemount's going to retake the field now. Couldn't get any points last possession. So we'll see what they can do here. They've got 2 receivers left, and this is just going to be a quick throw. That's Peroka. She gets a few yards there. She's about up to the 36. So about 11 to go for a first down. Peroka's had a lot of big catches too, coming out of that center spot. Here's Vesio. She's going to look deep. Just overshoots her receiver a little bit. She wanted to hit Ella Olsen there.
Ella Olsen ran a little double move. She stopped after 5 yards. The defender thought she was done, and then she kept on running upfield again and got her, but just the throw wasn't there.
Those stop and goes can be lethal if they're ran right, and if it's a good throw, good read by the quarterback.
You know, if the wide receiver baits the defender good enough to make him bite.
Yeah. Here's Essler. She's going to take the end around. Oh, she's shifty. But nice tackle there. Deborah Oho, she's had a couple big stops. She had a couple big stops in that Eastview game, and that is a big one right there.
Yeah, I thought we both thought that she got away.
Yeah.
And then last second, she reached out that arm and made the tackle. It's a great play.
Yeah, so they've got 5 to go now to get the first down. Egan looking for a big stop here. There's Vesio. Oh, wide open over the middle. They just left Mackin wide open on the slant.
I believe a little miscommunication there by the defense.
Yeah, it seems surprising that they wouldn't have her covered pretty tightly there. when she's running that slant, because that's all I need is a few yards.
Yeah, she's been doing good at that, and for Egan, that's a little frustrating. If you make a stop there, they could have been back in the game, but instead, no.
Fake to Krieg, and Vesio's going to take it herself, and she's going to get a lot of yards there. She'll probably get 10 or 15 yards on that run.
Looked like that tricked most of Egan's defense there.
Yeah.
Down to the 7-yard line.
Rosemount said, hey, Egan, if you want to do all these trick plays, we got some too. You know?
And as you saw in that replay there, Oho just followed Krieg because she thought she was the one getting the ball, but Vesia just took it herself. She's going to hit Essler there. Essler will catch the ball at around the 2, and she's just going to be able to slide into the end zone. We've seen that a couple times from her. And Rosemount scored for, I believe that's their 6th touchdown, 7 drives.
Yeah, they've been pretty dominant today.
Yeah.
Egan's defense hasn't really had an answer.
Yeah. Essler is very quick. She's very shifty.
Yep.
Here's a tight formation for the 1-point conversion. Krieg, quick pass. There they go. So Rosemount is up to 40 on the day. They extend their lead to 27 over Egan. And Egan's just really going to have to take some shots now if they want to get into this, because you don't have enough time to have slow drives. Even if you scored 4 touchdowns, you just don't. You don't have time to make the drives long. You have to start launching passes, and Rosemount knows that. They've got a couple of safeties. They look ready back there. Here's Larson. She'll find Jensen. That's a good pass right there.
Tight window. If I had to describe Rosemount's offense in one word, I would say shifty.
Yep.
Very shifty, very good after they get the ball, and they're not done. They keep running on the field, get some yards after the catch.
Yeah, we've seen definitely a lot more yards after the catch on Rosemount's side than Egan's. And here's Rice. She's going to be checking back into the game. A little bit of a stoppage here.
Yeah, a little confusion.
Yeah, on the substitution. So
there we go.
3 receivers to the left. Getting the play call ready. Here's Larson with the snap. She's just going to hit Bumpers. Bumpers is just on that little slant route. A few yards there.
That ball was rocketed off Larson's hand. You could literally hear it from up here. The contact on Bumper's hand there. Way to reel that in.
Yeah. I'd have to get some padded gloves because I know their hands are hurting after this.
Yeah. Get some O-lineman gloves.
Fake handoff. Larson hits Rice. Rice is able to get the first down there. Nice throw by Larson. Like we were saying, with Larson's hard throwing, I know Eva Rice had some bruised fingers after the last game. She uses her body on that one to avoid the finger injuries.
Yeah.
But
you can get jammed pretty easily on these balls because they're going pretty fast.
That's the worst feeling. Here's Larson. Sends Rice in motion. He's going to go up. That's Becker. Becker scores. So quick drive from Egan there as they're able to get the touchdown. That's Becker's first touchdown of the day.
That's a great play.
Yeah.
Little corner route from the little slot right position. You had Eva move over on the pre-snap motion to kind of vacate her defender so she's not there, and then kind of ran a corner route right into that space. That's great execution by Egan.
Yep. We'll see if they can get the deficit back to only 20. And they do. So Becker's going to get the conversion as well as the touchdown as Egan's trying to make their way back into this thing.
Carl's pretty pumped up. He's liking what he's seen from his offense.
Yep.
Had a little bit of a slow start, but they're really putting it together in these past couple of drives.
Yeah. We'll see if the defense can make some big stops here because we really need that. We did not see that last game against Eastview. They just got to do a better job tackling in this one. Receiver's pretty spread out here. Here's Vesio. She's going to hit Essler. Now, Essler's been getting a lot of those handoffs, and she just can't get stopped.
That's very shifty, as we said before.
When you see her coming in motion, you got to probably send a couple defenders up because every time she does it, she's getting the ball.
Yeah. And if I'm Rosemount, I'd probably go right back to that until they stop it.
Yeah, exactly. Just get her the ball. It's working every time.
Yep. That's the thing about Rosemount. They've had a couple girls to go
She's
to
coming
here.
again. And they're going to fake it this time. They're going to go deep, wide open.
Wide open.
So that was Ella Olsen on the wide open deep pass for the touchdown. That is not what you want if you're Egan.
I mean, that's just great play calling.
Yeah.
They had the same kind of pre-snap play.
Yep.
The first play they handed it off. The second play they faked it and went deep. Just great play calling by the Rosemount head coaches there.
Yeah, absolutely. It was the same play except all the Egan defenders decided to crash on Essler there because
she's such a threat.
Yeah, and then left the wide open Ella Olsen.
You have to crash down on that. But unfortunately, just a good play call by Rosemount.
Going for the 2-point conversion here, and they are going to succeed.
It's Mackin.
Yeah, Mackin's had a big game as well.
Yeah, Rosemount, they have a couple girls to go to, so that's kind of hard, you know. When you got one threat and you got one girl that can really do it all, it's kind of easy to game plan for that. You just stop her and make somebody else win the game. But Rosemount, they have a bunch of girls that can do pretty well on offense.
Yeah. Here's Becker.
Pass complete to number 11.
She gets a few yards there.
Not a bad play to start the drive.
No.
I mean, yards are yards. You'll take them.
Yep. Egan's got to hurry up a bit here. They're down 28 right now. I think a comeback it might be out of the question just with the amount of time we have left, but they're going to try. There's Larson rolling. She gets blitzed, and she's going to get her flag taken. It's a good sack right there from Kaspar. She's had a lot of big rushes. That's her second sack. Yeah, it's just hard for Larson to get out of there. She wants to make a deep throw, but Rosemount knows that, so they're going to send it. They're going to send a rusher.
They're going to make you either you're going to get sacked or you're going to have to throw it short.
Yeah.
And that's when you're up 28. That's fine. Oh, a little false start there, but.
They called
timeout.
Here.
Timeout, I believe. Looks like Carl's going to drop a play here.
Probably drop something long.
Yep.
Maybe add some fun to the end of this one.
Yeah. That's what this is all about. Just having fun.
Yep.
I know the girls, they're losing. They lost the last one, but hopefully they're having a great time. It looks like it on their faces. We've seen some good body posture by these girls. They don't look down at all. They don't look defeated, and it's just great.
Yep.
It's a great day to play some football.
Yeah, and that's what the sport was created for. Is just to make it more popular for girls to play football, and hopefully they're enjoying it out there.
Absolutely.
Wildcats took a timeout.
It's very cool to see this sport get more and more popular.
Absolutely.
Thanks to the Minnesota Vikings. So Larson's going to take the team back out there. Rice comes in motion. She's going to roll out right, looking for Becker, but just threw it a bit behind her. Incomplete there.
If they had more time, they had Rice streaking down the far side, but since she was rolling out to the right and Rice was on the left, it was kind of hard to see.
Yeah, that's probably what Carl wanted. Probably wanted him to go to Rice there, but the rusher just made that hard to do.
Yeah, roll out right, make all the defenders go right, and then hit the little wheel route on the backside.
Yeah.
But just good pressure by Rosemount. Couldn't let the throw get off.
So Rosemount's going to take back over after the turnover on downs. Vesio, she's going to give it to Essler on the delayed handoff. And Oho will get the flag. She's been really the only one who's been able to slow down Essler.
Yep.
And actually grab her flags.
Ball up to the 38-yard line.
So the ball moves up to the 38 there.
Wouldn't be surprised if Rosemount go back to that play or some type of variation off of that same handoff motion.
We've seen a lot of, there we go. The same thing.
Yep.
And Melscock's able to get that flag there, but another good gain by Essler.
31-yard line. It'll be third down.
Yeah, and I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Absolutely. Other game finished up here, so we believe that the clock is kind of running short here.
Here's Vesio. She'll find Krieg in the middle. And she's going to get her flag taken. That's McGowan. That'll be a first down there for Rosemount.
Rosemount here. It's probably the last to second last drive of the game here.
Yeah, Egan would like to get another one.
Yep.
Just to try to get a couple big plays out.
Make the scoreboard look a little better.
Yeah. Hope they can hold at least one of these teams to under 50. Couldn't do it against Eastview, but
I know, something you can take away from Egan is, there's still, I know you kind of got blown out both games, but there's still a lot of positives to take. I'm sure Carl and Stacy will kind of run them through that. And there's only one way to go, and that's up.
Yeah.
And I'm sure as this year goes on, we will see massive improvement from the Egan Wildcats.
I don't think it should be too concerning, especially on the offensive side. They've got a lot of good athletes, so I think that they'll be okay. The defense may need some improvements though. They've gotten kind of torched here. Oho's been a bright spot of the defense. She's not letting them get any yards after the catch. So Rosemount will be up at the 10-yard line now. Here's Vesio. And she's going to find Krieg. Touchdown. So Rosemount clears the 50-point mark. They're up to 54.
It's really been Krieg, Essler, Stiles, Olsen, Mackin.
Yeah.
Yep, all of them.
And Vesio's been she's led the team very well at quarterback.
Yeah, great quarterback. Very safe throws. I don't believe she's thrown a pick this game.
Yeah.
And that is the game.
So that's the end of regulation. The score is going to end 54-20. We thank you guys all for tuning in. And, yeah, we hope that you can come out and support these Egan girls flag football players. Thank you.
We apologize on that one. They lined up like the game was over, but I guess not. Incomplete pass here. We apologize for that. We thought the game was over.
Maybe they're just letting Egan get one more drive.
Yeah, why not? They got the time. Let's just have some fun here.
Yeah. Hopefully they try to get a couple deep shots here.
Yep. Let's see something cool here. Maybe a little trickery.
Larson's looking long, and she's going to do it. Oh, just right past the hands. That was Kosnick.
Just a little far. I feel like that's been the story of the day for Egan.
Yeah.
Just the little things. Just the little, maybe passes 1 yard too far, or they turn around when they're about to catch a pass.
Yeah.
Or they're just like a second away from deflecting the ball. That's kind of been the story for Egan, which is frustrating.
Yeah.
But something that you can definitely easily improve on.
They call it a game of inches, and that certainly has been the case here.
Yep, absolutely.
A couple inches our way, and these scores are probably a bit different.
Yep.
Looking long again. That's a rocket. Oh. That was a wonderful pass. She threw it all the way from about the 5-yard line to the 50.
Yeah, almost a 45-yard pass there.
And that is going to wrap up the game today. So thank you guys for tuning in once again. Hopefully everyone can continue to support this program, and we will see you guys next time.